The morning started like any other on the farm. Me wrestling with a stubborn tractor engine, the cows moaning for their breakfast, and the sun already beating down on the dusty fields. I wiped the grease off my hands and looked up at the cloudless sky. That's when I saw it. A streak of light cutting across the heavens, brighter than any shooting star I'd ever seen. It wasn't a star. A loud thud shook the earth, sending a flock of crows screeching into the sky. I dropped my wrench and ran toward the back pasture, my boots kicking up dirt. When I got there, my mouth fell open. A crater smoldered in the middle of the field, steam rising in thick tendrils. And standing at the center of it all was a woman. Not a normal woman. She was tall, at least 6 feet, with skin that glowed faintly like moonlight on water. Her hair floated around her head, defying gravity, and shimmered in shades of blue and silver. Her clothes, or whatever they were, hugged her frame like liquid metal, glowing faintly along strange, intricate patterns. And her eyes were unlike anything I'd ever seen. Large and luminous, like polished black opals swirling with starlight. She blinked at me, clearly just as surprised to see me as I was to see her. You okay, miss?" I said, taking a cautious step forward. I felt ridiculous, like I was trying to comfort a space angel. She tilted her head, studying me as if I were some strange creature. When she spoke, her voice was soft but had a melodic hum to it, like music under her words. "This is not Larisha." "Yeah, well," I said, scratching my head. "This is Texas." Her brow furrowed, and she looked around. Her expression caught somewhere between confusion and concern. "Texas, is that a star system?" "No, ma'am. It's Earth. You're on Earth." She frowned and murmured something in a language that sounded like wind chimes. Then she looked back at me, her glowing eyes filled with uncertainty. "I do not know this Earth. My vessel malfunctioned and I fell. My name is Kalara, of the Larishan ascendancy." "Kalara?" I said, trying to wrap my head around this. "Well, you picked a hell of a place to crash land." I watched her eyes dart to the cows gathered at the edge of the field, staring at her like they'd seen a ghost. "Are those your companions?" she asked. I laughed. "The cows? No, they're livestock. You know, animals." She blinked again, as if trying to process the information. "Animals? You use them for sustenance?" "Well, yeah," I said, suddenly feeling defensive. "That's farming for you." Kalara nodded slowly, though it was clear she found the concept strange. Then she looked up at the sky, her face falling. "My vessel is damaged beyond repair. I cannot return." Something in her voice made my chest tighten. For all her otherworldly beauty, she sounded lost. Alone. I'd seen that same look before, usually in stray dogs wandering too far from home. I cleared my throat. "Well, I don't know about your spaceship, but I've got a barn. You can stay there for a bit until we figure something out." Kalara looked at me surprised. "You would offer shelter to a being you do not know." "Guess I'm old-fashioned like that," I said with a shrug. That night, I brought her blankets and set up a cot in the barn. She seemed fascinated by everything, running her fingers across the rough wooden beams, studying the old tools hanging on the walls, even inspecting a pitchfork like it was some kind of ancient relic. "You sure you don't need food?" I asked, handing her a bottle of water. She shook her head. "Larishans absorb energy from starlight." "Convenient," I muttered. She looked up at me then, her glowing eyes locking with mine. "Why are you helping me, Jack?" Hearing my name in her voice gave me pause. "'Cause you look like you could use it. That's all." Kalara tilted her head. "On Larisha, trust is earned. Yet you offer it freely. Things work a little differently here," I said. Over the next few days, Kalara became a strange, beautiful part of my life. She would sit in the fields at night, bathing in the moonlight, her skin glowing like frost on glass. During the day, she helped me with the farm, though help was a stretch. She was hopeless with tools and scared the cows half to death just by looking at them. But she was curious, asking endless questions about the world, about humans, about me. And I didn't mind answering. One evening, we sat on the porch, watching the sunset. Kalara pointed at the horizon. "It's beautiful," she said softly. "Your world is alive in ways mine has forgotten." "What happened to yours?" I asked. Her expression darkened. "We advanced too far. We abandoned our roots, our land, our skies, our connection to the universe. We became machines, and the starlight faded. I looked out over my fields, golden in the fading light." "Sounds like you could learn a thing or two from Earth." Kalara smiled faintly. "Perhaps that is why I fell here." A week later, I woke to a strange hum outside. I ran to the barn and found Kalara standing in the field, her arms raised toward the sky. Above her, a shimmering vessel descended, its surface rippling like liquid light. "They found me," she said, turning to face me. I swallowed hard, my chest tightening. "Guess that means you're going home?" Kalara stepped closer, her glowing eyes soft. "You have shown me kindness, Jack. More than I deserved." "Don't say that," I muttered. She reached out and touched my arm. Her hand was cool, her touch electric. "Your world is a gift. Cherish it. Protect it." Before I could respond, the light around her intensified, and I had to shield my eyes. When I looked again, she was gone, just a faint shimmer in the air where she had stood. Weeks passed, and life returned to normal. But some nights, when the stars are particularly bright, I sit on the porch and look up, wondering if Kalara made it home. I like to think she did, that somewhere in some distant galaxy, there's a woman with starlight eyes telling her people about a farmer from Texas who showed her the meaning of kindness. And on nights like that, the stars seem just a little bit closer,